Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot. This reading is for Monday, June 26th and Tuesday, June 27th. It's actually for yesterday too, although yesterday is clearly over. But we are having a square, an exact square between Mercury in Gemini and Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees of each sign. And that's really interesting because Mercury rules Gemini and Neptune rules Pisces. So they're each in their home sign, even though Mercury supposedly has two signs, Gemini and Virgo. A lot of people think that there should be another ruler for Virgo, and I think it should be Chiron. I've heard that before, and I agree. But anyway, so Mercury's in his home sign in Gemini, where he rules. And Neptune is in Pisces, where he rules. So, and they're squaring each other. Squares are very difficult energy because it's like, you know the expression when people are facing each other in a fight and they say they're squaring off. That means neither one is going to budge. They are standing there, they're like facing each other, you know, and one wants to go one way and one wants to go another way, and they're like, excuse me, but no, they have to figure it out together because they're in each other's way. So that's what a square is. It's 90 degrees. If you know the time you were born and you know what house you have Pisces in and what house you have Gemini in, that will tell you what part of your life this is happening in. If you do know your birth time but you haven't done your chart, you can go to astro.com and it will tell you that. If you don't know your birth time, you're not going to know what house, unfortunately. But we all have Mercury somewhere, and we all have Neptune somewhere. We all have Gemini somewhere, and we all have Pisces somewhere. So it's at 27 degrees. So anyway, and it's funny because I chose the quote sort of before I even thought about that I was going to talk about Mercury versus Neptune. And the quote that I chose for this evening is by the physicist Stephen Hawking, who said, "The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge." I agree with that. It's the people who think they know everything who are usually the most dangerous. But I think that's really interesting in this case because Mercury rules knowledge. I almost am tempted to say on a superficial level, but I don't mean superficial. I just mean like personal knowledge. It rules your personal consciousness, logic, reasoning, communication. But Mercury is also the only, quote, god who can go between the worlds. He can go to the underworld and then come back up. Nobody else can do that. Pluto rules the underworld, but he's pretty much down there. So anyway, so I'm not trying to say Mercury is not powerful. He is, but Neptune being an outer planet, that's a pretty strong force. And Neptune rules a lot of things. It rules the collective unconscious on a feeling level, not so much on a thinking level, but on a feeling level. And Neptune rules illusion, which is interesting because the quote I gave used the word the illusion of knowledge. Neptune rules illusion and glamour. That's why it rules movies and poetry and dance, and it's all about unconditional love and compassion and you know, the uniting of humanity through compassion. It's a wonderful, wonderful planet, and Pisces is its sign that it rules, the two fish. But of course it has a dark side, as every planet and every sign do. So anyway, so I asked the question. I did the Celtic cross tonight. I'm not sure that was a good idea, actually, but I already did it, so there you go. And this is what we got. Let's see what we got. I just wanted to find out, how is this going to affect us with Neptune and Mercury squaring up? So the card that represents us, I get the Ace of Swords, which is normally a good card, but she's in the reverse. And this is, I think in this deck, this is the Greek Tarot by Liz Green, the Mythic Tarot. I think this is supposed to be Athena, the goddess of wisdom, and she's in the reverse. So right off the bat, we're confused mentally. We're like, okay, we don't know which is up and which is down. So that's how we start out. That's us. What's crossing us? The Hierophant. Okay, he rules. He's some readers say he's Jupiter, and some say he's Chiron. I like to think of him in this deck. He's clearly Chiron, the centaur wounded healer, and he's got the scroll of wisdom in his hand, and he's the wounded healer. So what's crossing us? Something that needs to be healed. Something in us that needs to be healed. So how are these two planets coming together going to heal us? So what's the foundation? What energy are we resting on? The moon. So very esoteric energy. There's the crab for Cancer, the three-headed dog Cerberus, the three-headed moon goddess, the waning, waxing, and full. Full is in the middle. So something subconscious perhaps needs to be healed. Let's see if it's going to come up to our awareness or not. Oops, knocked over my angel. Is that a bad omen? Or am I being superstitious? I think I'm just clumsy. Okay, the energy above us, we get the world in reverse. Which again, that kind of goes along with this Ace of Swords in reverse. It's like we don't know up from down in our minds. Well, guess what? The outer world is reflecting that. Because right now, things may feel kind of crazy to you. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I'm coming or going. You know, it's like things, there's that no. Every time I sit down to do a reading, it sounds like someone is in the house. And there is no one in this house but me. I hope. Anyway, so the energy over us is rather confused. It's upside down, okay? And what are we coming out of? Behind us, we're coming out of a situation or a feeling where we have felt like things are not fair. And I'm getting this on a personal level rather than an overall level, kind of like a feeling of you've been done wrong. Someone is not treating you fairly. You're tired of being the scapegoat. You're tired of just feeling like, why is everything going wrong? Why am I not getting my just desserts, as they say? So you might be feeling a little bit like things aren't fair right now. What is directly in front of us? We get the Four of Pentacles. This is good because Pentacles are earth. They're solid energy. They can be money, objects, possessions, also self-worth and self-value. So this card is telling us that one of our saving graces is to stay in your own power. Don't give it away, whether it's money or time or your own self-value. Value yourself and what you have and keep it. It's for you. So keep it. That will help. That will help. This is a very grounding card. And we need that right now with the moon and the world in reverse when things feel really wonky. Okay, then here's the second card that represents us, and we get the Queen of Cups. Okay, this is Neptune in Pisces. This is all about being swept away by your emotions and your imagination. She's totally she's the queen, so she's ruling it. She's not literally being swept away, but she's completely in her imagination and her feelings. And that's okay because she rules it. So we have the potential to be in charge of our emotions and I would argue our imagination, our fantasies. But anytime you get the Queen of Cups, it can be a little dicey. You want to just make sure that you do ground yourself because she can be a little, water can be a little unreliable. It's not exactly stable. So be careful about that. We may or may not be in control of our emotions right now because here's the card that represents our environment. And we get the fantasy card, which is totally Neptune and Pisces. This is the illusion card. This is the pie in the sky. It's like, ooh, I really, really want that. And then when you get it, you realize, was this even real? So there can be a real disconnect right now between logic and the feeling of divine discontent where you feel like you want something, but you're not sure what it is. Be very careful what you choose at this time. In fact, let's see if it even wants us to choose or if we should wait. hopes and fears, the Two of Wands, okay? This is, this can be a choice. This can also be balanced energy where we're beginning a new project. But sometimes it's kind of like choosing between, like, I don't know whether to go left or right. This would make sense with Mercury squaring Neptune because their energies are so different. One wants logic, one wants fantasy and illusion. Can you have both? Yes, you can. You can. And then there's the Hierophant. He's in the cave. That's the same guy. See, that's him. That's the wounded healer. He's in this card. So when he does get healed, he can choose this new project that he's trying to decide about. But he needs to be healed first. And then here's what I drew for the final outcome. And then another card wanted to come out. So for some reason, this didn't feel finished to me. I got the Ace of Cups, which is an amazing card because this is the birth of a new emotion. It's also an emotional gift. It's harmony. It's feeling good, feeling happy. This is a really, let me see, what does Liz Green say about, because this is her deck. How does she put it? She's so amazing with her. Pouring a feeling and differentiated. What have I done? I've mistyped this. I've got Ross, capital R-O-S-S. What the heck does that mean? Vitals and over, okay. An outpouring of feeling and the potential for the beginning of a relationship. Okay, that's true. That's true. I would say it's more about personal happiness and having control over your emotions and feeling good about them. And that would mean that this Queen of Cups that we got over here means that instead of floating away on this river and just sort of fantasizing herself out of existence, maybe she's in control. Okay, but the other card that just wanted to come out for our outcome is the Seven of Wands in reverse. And the Seven of Wands, as you can see, is about people arguing and tempers flaring, but it's in reverse. So I'm wondering if, because we have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands in reverse, I'm wondering if this is an end to some kind of an argument or some kind of behavior between us and someone else that has not been very pleasant or very kind. And as always, the energy can be within yourself, some part of yourself talking to some other part of yourself. Maybe you're starting to forgive yourself for something. I don't know. But it's in reverse, and that's good because this is very chaotic, arguing energy. And, you know, wands can be spiritual. They can also be on the physical level. They can be action. So it can be anger, or it could be actually having a fight with someone. And, you know, Mercury rules communication, and when it's in Gemini, it's all about communication. So I would say I would not use, if you have if you need to talk to someone about something, I would wait a few days until this square goes away. But Mercury in Gemini is a really good time. We only have a couple more days, though, because it leaves Gemini, I think, in 2 days. So, you know what? This might be a really good time, though, to figure out what's real and what isn't real. And it could be in a relationship. Since we have the Ace of Cups and the Seven of Wands, it could be a relationship, again, within yourself, energies within yourself, or with someone else. I don't see a lot of other people relationship here. Looks like it's mostly we're up in our heads, but it could be. With the Seven of Wands, it could be. Okay, so let me clarify that with some, you know what, just for fun, instead of using my oracle cards, which I should do, I'm going to grab my ethereal cards that have these beautiful pictures on them, but which are so difficult to decipher. And I'm just going to see, no, that's too many. That's too many. Okay, I have to keep going. I just want to see if they have anything to add. Okay, 2 want to come out. Well, this is really interesting. The Page of Wands, which is the beginning of a new action and a new desire also, with the Fool, which is the beginning of a new adventure. I don't see that here, although, The Page of Wands is similar to the Two of Wands. This is a new, this is our hopes and fears. This is a new endeavor as well. So this is sort of telling us that something new might be starting. Maybe I should have gone with my tried and true oracle cards. Let's try one of them and see if they go along with this, because that's kind of confusing me. Perhaps I shouldn't have pulled those, but they're just so pretty. This would be a new endeavor and a new adventure. What have I got here? Mending. This is putting the two together. If you can put your logic together with your fantasy, what you want, and if you can tell the difference between the two and figure out what is good for you, what makes sense. Right now you want what makes sense to go hand in hand with what you want. And again, this could have something to do with communicating with someone else because of the wands here. It just might be that you've had some unpleasant communication and, well, okay, well now I'm really confused. Not for you. This could be eliminating something that you thought you wanted with the Seven of Cups, where you just really thought you wanted something, and on second thought you have decided again, since we have the Ace of Swords upside down and Justice in the reverse, and those are both air and thoughts, you might want to go with your intuition on this one rather than your logic. Let me see if I can clarify with one more. Who do we want? Let me see if I can clarify with, no, not them. That's too confusing. Okay, let's get the fairies in on it. Perhaps I shouldn't have pulled those two. I'm not sure the Page of Wands and the Fool make much sense to me right now, but okay, maybe they do. The Prince of Light, he's very much like the Page of Wands. It's incoming fire energy. It's incoming light. He's got the cosmic egg in his hand, and he's bringing in clarity. So, is this mental clarity or emotional clarity? I think it's more emotional clarity. I just think this time that with Neptune squaring Mercury, I think I would go with your intuition rather than your logic at this point. Let me just double check in the book and make sure I'm not misreading him. New beginnings. Okay, that goes with the Page of Wands and the Fool. New beginnings. So perhaps they meant to come out after all. Peacemaker. Okay, that's the Seven of Wands in reverse. An end to some arguing and potential. The Prince of Light comes into your life like a blessing. He is the bringer of new beginnings, indicated by the egg he holds before him, which is a symbol of potential. He soothes, calms, and leads you into the light. Okay, this is the calming, the Four of Pentacles. This is the calming. The Peacemaker, he is always ready to still the troubled waters of a relationship. Yes, okay, so we are having trouble in a relationship. There's been some strife, and it's going to calm down. He is wise. If he appears in a reading, listen to what he has to tell you. Okay. So what is he telling us? I guess he's telling us that we can salvage this relationship, that there can be an end to the argument. How do we bring that? We use, where'd she go? The Ace of Cups. We use our emotion. We use our intuition, the Moon. And we use our gut feelings, our emotions again, the Queen of Cups. So this is using your emotions in a positive way. I don't understand why we got this card not for you. What's not for you? The argument? We need to mend something with somebody. That's for sure. I'm getting a very clear feeling of you've been feeling left out and like things weren't fair. Things feel upside down and unstable. So you need to find that sense of stability in yourself with the Four of Pentacles. Okay, find your center of gravity and go with your gut, go with your intuition. See if you can heal something in yourself that needs to be healed. Self-love is always a good idea. It's kind of what I'm getting from the Ace of Cups. And perhaps the feeling of mental confusion will go away. So it looks to me anyway like emotion is trumping thought in this. So I would say Neptune in Pisces is stronger than Mercury in Gemini right now. I hope that's helpful. I feel like this was kind of a mess actually, but I'm getting a strong feeling that we go with our gut and something good is coming in. It really is. We got the Fool, we got the Page of Wands, and we got the Prince of Light. New energy is coming in. That's a new beginning. So, okay. I hope that made sense. It was a little weird tonight, but with those two energies squaring each other, I don't see how it could help but be kind of strange. So, thank you for listening. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and I will talk to you later. Blessings. Good night.